Okay, you know what? It's 10:02. Let's go. All right. So let's start off, everybody, with yesterday, right? And the trainings, I'm starting to see where the effectiveness is starting to come in. Okay. The effectiveness of what we do starts to come in 100% by using your CRM. Okay. Without a shadow of a doubt, I am convinced that if you effectively use your CRM, if you organize your CRM, you're going to have success. Yesterday, we had, I made 3 calls. No, I made 2 calls. And then afterwards, because it took too long, I made some more calls. Total 3 calls. All 3 are appointments. Okay. One is just a spectacular purchase. It's actually one I did as a lender for Adriana, and sounds like he's in love with your boy, which I'll share with you guys at the end. Okay. But the point of it is I organized, it took me maybe 10 minutes because I was a little late to the game yesterday. It took me 10 minutes. I walked in here at 4 o'clock, organized myself, took me 10 minutes, banged out 2 calls. Left a message, sent the text on the one, didn't get connect. That person afterwards set it up with me at dinner time, and now we are shopping for an investment property for her. She is from my sphere of influence. She is a someone that I hadn't talked to in years. Okay, and I just said, you know what? Let me go ahead and call Rose. Let me call Rose and say, "Hi, Rose. It's Herb. It's been 5 years since I lived in your neighborhood, and I never for once thought to say hi. But I wanted to reach out to you since I remember you, and I think that it's time to buy an investment property." You're right. That's it.
You're right.
And now we're going to start looking. If you can't turn your ringer off, please. So the point of that, guys, is do it. The second call we had witnesses to. Sarah, Sal, and Eric were here. And we went in touching base with the client, past client now, not sphere of influence. And we had a deep-rooted conversation about getting her home. At the very end, as I was getting ready to get off the phone with her, she said, "But you know what, Herb? I've been doing some homework on real estate. I've been interested." As I was hanging up, my ear perked up and said, "Really? That's interesting. What have you been looking at?" "Well, I've been thinking of getting an investment property for my daughter because I want her to not have to deal with some of the perils of the current market." We talked for then an additional 25 minutes about how we're going to get her the home. It came about that she's coming into a CD, which is a C is for something, but deposit, with basically a cash deposit that's coming due. And she's like, "Well, should I reinvest it in the same CD? It's paying me like nothing." I'm like, "It's like what, $40,000? I'm like, "Not at all. This is God's calling. I am here to help you with your funds and to help you grow it." Okay. Everybody bore witness to that. I believe I went ahead and added Sarah as a lender on it. And if you did see Sarah, she was already in there, wasn't she? Yes, she was. So third one was for the lender, or for as me as a lender, and following up on behalf of the agents and using the system as it should be. Now the agent and us, we have 2 deals. She has the real estate, we have the loan. Okay, why? Because this gentleman, I've been after him for months. Follow-up boss. Okay, use the system, organize your stuff. You get a lead, just don't let it be just scrambled in there like it's diarrhea. Yeah, that's what happens. It's like diarrhea of a bunch of data. It's everywhere. But if you organize it, categorize it, tag it, guess what happens? You can create a quick list. Boom, go. On Tuesday, we had one of our top producers here. He admitted that he had not been using Follow a Boss. And because he had not been using Follow a Boss, he was missing out on money. He sat down, organized himself, made 10 calls, had 2 appointments. I'm telling you guys, this is where your money is right now. Okay. I can teach you guys all about the message and the word that should be said. But if you can't get that message to the right people, what good is it? This is why we're going to go into this today. Oh, come on. There we go. Why do we need a CRM? A real estate CRM systems can track copious amounts of data and business and advertising metrics while keeping everything organized and easy to use. By using a CRM, agents can stay organized, find properties, and to track and communicate with prospective and current and past clients. This system as it is, if you set yourself up to talk to your sphere of influence, everybody you know, right? Your past clients, and then prospective clients. Prospective is a huge web of different opportunities. Internet leads, Zillow leads. You could even break it down to website leads, realtor.com leads, homes.com leads if you wanted to, but I'd just say internet leads, period. You break each one down, open house leads, so on and so forth. Prospects is a whole bunch. So we're not going to go into that part of it because we're going to start very generally. Prospective, current, and past, okay? And perspective will include sphere of influence, okay? Sphere of influence, and this is where it all starts, everybody. I really want to make sure that you understand this. Rose was my neighbor for, 9 years, okay? For 9 years. 9 years. I hung out with her. We broke bread with her. She actually has referred me clients. She's house is paid off, huge UPS stock, doesn't know what to do with it. Even though the market's down, I'm sure that money's quadrupled since she's had it. Just sitting there, right there, just looking to do something. I start to go through my list of people who I haven't talked to, and I'm like, oh, here we go. I was guilty of not following up because you have to follow up with everybody. Rose has never bought anything from me. However, she has referred, which is why she should be in your CRM. This is why everybody in your sphere of influence needs to be in your CRM. It starts with your SOI, which includes friends, relatives, all your former and current coworkers, college friends, so on. The dudes, what is it? Your attorneys, your doctors, your dentists, everybody. The dude at the gym, you know what I mean? Everybody, okay? Everybody. Effectively working your database can generate a 10% yield. Can you imagine making 10 calls and having 1 deal? That's insane. But that comes from effectively taking care of your CRM. You have one, an easy to use one, a really expensive, easy to use one that you guys don't use. So then now we look at, let's put the mirror out. Oh, I don't have deals. We only have one person to blame, okay? So we have to use this, okay? We have to organize at the very least, get it organized, get it together, so that way you can make the most of it, all right? This is the oldest trick in the book. This is the first thing I tell everybody to do. When you guys get in a new social media platform, what do? You add everybody you know. Think of it the same way. You add, your cousin's friend that you knew in high school to your database, but you won't call them because and let them know that you do real estate. Crazy.
That's true. I like all their pictures.
Yeah. You isn't that crazy? Oh, you know what? You'll break bread, have beers with them, but you won't tell them about your business. We got to get past this, guys. Oldest trick in the book. This is the one thing that we were taught way back when I was at the big real estate companies. grab a note, piece of paper, pen, name, email, phone number. Write them all out, call them all, tell them that you do this, and ask them if they know anybody that's looking to buy or sell if they're not doing it themselves. Oldest trick in the book, okay? This is the same thing, except you're not doing it on and wasting your effort just doing that and having one attempt, right? Or manually having to send messages, manually having to send emails. You add everybody to your database, and as Kim has created, and as Follow Up Boss has it in there already, you create an action plan, okay? It's easy. If they're unresponsive, action plan goes. If they're responsive, obviously action plan doesn't go. Make sure to call these clients. Too many agents decide that the text message is their best friend. Remember, this is the most personal business that you can be in. You're handling someone's finances. You're handling someone's both prized possession, their home. Okay. So let's make sure that we handle that accordingly. A personal call, a personal touch is much more, it's going to provide better results. It's much better way to get to somebody. You know, I've been after this guy for Adriana. His name is Kachong. Going after him. He's this and that. He's over here. He's over there. And I've finally got him on the phone. Maybe 35 calls. Okay. That's how relentless you have to be. Everybody knows how busy I am, but I make my calls. I want everybody to take an honest look at themselves and say, well, what am I doing? And why do all this? You create relevancy. You all have an extra level of relevancy by working here. Do you realize how many people have given me compliments, not in my only in my sphere of influence, but other real estate professionals that I know that all work up and down the street? You now have relevancy. Okay. This building, to me, serves as a landmark in Downey going forward. That familiarity will do what? It will create trust. Relevancy and familiarity create trust. Trust creates referrals and sales. Take advantage of it. Take advantage of it. Put yourself in a position to win. Again, it seems like it's harder, but it's not. You know, I was there at this weekend at that driven, and Aaron, I don't know if you remember that story about the Brad Lee, before someone's unit caught fire. Brad Lee was there, and he was talking about how he was the #1 person at the restaurant selling desserts. Yeah. And he was the #1 person. They made the most money on the desserts, right? Just to kind of keep it short. And why? They couldn't figure out how this guy was selling all the damn desserts. And what was it? Because he was asking them when they were still hungry. He was asking them before they had consumed their entire dinner, and asked them when they were taking their initial order, when they're still hungry. And guess what? They're taking the shit to go. The simplest answer is that he was just asking them when they're hungry. Sometimes we think about this too much. We complicate things way more than they need to be. Make your calls, organize your database, set the time apart to follow up with your clients, follow up with the people you know, make sure that they know what you're doing, make sure that everybody knows that this is what you live, breathe, everything. Okay. I like to say that all the time. You see me around, you know that this is all I do. Okay. If you wear another hat, okay, that's one thing, but you want to make sure that people are drawn to you for this specific career. Okay. Past clients, you guys heard. I was there, was able to pick up that call. Her name's Jacqueline, And I'm like, Jackie, how's it going? She actually had fired me in the middle of trying to get her the first house because I had sent her with little Michael. And little Michael was one of the other lender's little brothers. And he was just not skilled. I had just sent him. And he's like a mute. So he did not do well. She like let it go. And then I was like, oh, and those are the ones that hurt me because I'm like, that's a sale. And I messed up because now we got our system down, now we got a pro. But the truth of the matter is, then I lost that deal. I had to follow up with her, and got her back. And once I got her back, we were able to get it done for her. She'll never forget that. Okay. But why did that yield the best result? Following up. Again, calling, staying top of mind. Working with people you have done business with before will easily yield even more referral business, which she has sent over this way. Okay. And here's one thing that I have to tell you. If you aren't calling your clients, don't worry. Your competition is. The lender that helped me close that deal doesn't work here anymore. And, I'm over here not following up. And I'm like, wait a sec, what the fuck? She's calling my clients? Oh, hell no. That should make you mad. Would you come to that realization? Wait, someone's calling my clients. Yeah. Everybody that works that neighborhood's calling. Especially right now. Hey, Miss Homeowner, I see that you've owned the home for so long. I know that you have about $150,000 in equity. Let me ask you this. Are you considering selling? What if she is? And I didn't follow up. Whose fault is it? Mine or hers? It's mine, because I wasn't there to provide her with the service that she needs. She requires this from me. She needs to have me follow up continuously, consistently, so that way she doesn't have to reach out to anybody else, So it's okay. I made that mistake. Now we got to push forward. Okay. Prospective clients. This is the bread and butter for anybody that's new. Okay. You can easily track your follow-up. Did I call him? Did I call that dude? It's like, have you ever had that? Like, wait, I know I called him. I don't want to be redundant. Oh shit. And then now you don't know you did. And then maybe you did. I mean, remember, we're making hundreds of calls if you're doing it right. Yeah, oh, dude, you know what? And then you've talked to him. I mean, I've had that happen. So you don't want to look like you're not professional. You want to make sure that you have all your information down. Here's where Kim comes in, which I love. Create templates. They don't take very long, but if you don't know it, she'll teach you how to do it. Okay. This way you can effectively and efficiently communicate. You know how quickly I send a needs list out? It takes me 2 seconds. Okay. 2 seconds, boom. I'm sitting here with Mike the other day. He's like, hey, call this guy. Okay, boom. Get into a 20-minute call. And needs list was in his inbox before we finished our conversation. Okay. It's effortless. And we want to make sure we make it as easy as possible. Once you learn the system, you can sit again with Kim, or we can go ahead and take the automated continuous action plans that are there if you want to continue to stay top of mind. Don't forget that the company does a lot of this stuff on your behalf already. There's a newsletter that Kim is sending out. And we let you guys all know, hey, your client was in here. Call them. Okay. These are things that are important for you, but make sure that you do them for yourself as well. Because if you aren't following up with your clients, whose fault is it again, right? It's our fault. That's what we have to do. We have to take accountability of what's going on with us. Okay. We absolutely cannot get complacent. Okay. Complacency in a business, in an industry right now where you have incredible competition for clients. And what's going to separate the strong from the weakest skills. So let's stay top of mind and eliminate all of that. If no one else is talking to your clients, then you don't have to worry about that, right? They don't have to seek that out, or you build the rapport, an unbreakable bond. So that way that doesn't happen and they don't backstab you. Because believe it or not, I've ran into more clients that are loyal than disloyal. Okay. You know what? I'm already working with there and I don't want to, that's a little dirty to just leave them like that. Stay top of mind, service your clients. Here is the rules to success with your CRM and following up with the clients, okay? And I want to start by saying this is at a minimum because the more you do it, the more money you will have. Remember, yesterday I brought out my vision board. I said, okay, we did, I had what is it, 300,000 was my goal back in 2017. I did twice that because I sold a house every week. Okay. But what happened? My follow-up was out of control. And I didn't have a system like this. I had my notes, okay, a notepad like this one. Okay. This is what I'm trying to tell you. You guys can systemize this. Before you know it, you'll need assistance. Okay. Before you know it, it'll be something completely different for you. Well, we start with this. Rule number one, you need to make the time to make a dime. You can organize all of your opportunities, but the money is in the follow-up. How it works. Block an hour a day of your calendar, time dedicated to just following up, not prospecting, following up. This is stuff that's already in your system. Log into Follow Boss, go through all your priority lists and follow up like a boss. Call, text, or email each contact in your priority list during your power hour and make sure all of your communication or contact attempts are logged. We continually update your list. This is for Follow Boss. They continually update your list so you don't need to think about who to follow up with next. Think about that. Okay, I touched these guys today. Maybe it's a long-term type thing, right? I think the other day we were here with Mike and I think it was a guy who was working with another agent. He followed up with him in 1 year and he's like, I never found the house. Let me get on the call with you. Let me get pre-approved. You know what I mean? Those are the things that if you have organized within your CRM, you're not going to have to worry about. 1 hour a day. Okay. You could go back to the Netflix marathon after you're done with that. Okay. We don't need to get too crazy with it. Get comfortable with the 1 hour a day. Focus on having the conversations with people. Yesterday, I made 3 calls and I had conversations. Okay. Because the callbacks came in after we were done with the training, but the point is they happened. And that's what I'm trying to get to you guys. Okay. If we don't do these things, if we don't schedule ourselves and say, okay, this is my hour that I'm going to do this. Okay. It doesn't have to be 7 o'clock at night when you're going to have dinner with your family. A lot of people think, okay, well, everybody's home. No, just do it. The point is to do it. If you can't get to them and it's people that are in your sphere of influence or people you've worked with before, they're going to call you back. But just reach out to them. Send them a quick text. How you doing? Hope all is well. Just wanted to let you know I'm thinking about you. Follow Up Boss has a great system where it sends birthdays, it sends the holiday cards, it can send emails, texts, all of it. You just have to get in there and work it, okay? But if you don't get in there and use it, you're going to get more and more leads, or you're going to add more and more people to your database, and it's going to be more disorganized, and you're going to know where they come from, and then before you know it, you have this disastrous of a mess. That's not what we want. We want you to get in there and just make this initial effort. The most effective agents are doing this 4 hours a day, but now you're talking about an incredible amount of business, and now you've gotten your business down to a science. Let's start just this. And I guarantee you, if you're selling 1, 2, 3 houses a year, this will take you to 1 a month. 1 hour every day. Okay. You without the rule. You have so much to do, but so little time. You plan to follow up with your leads today, but instead found yourself reacting to what was coming at you. By the end of the day, you realize it's been another day that you dropped the ball. It's another day that you are being reactive rather than proactive. How many of us have had that happen in this business? You know, I'm over here worried about the damn listing. I'm like, Aaron, help me with this. Oh my God, we ain't doing all the stuff that we shouldn't be doing, we're doing. Because we didn't map out our day. We knew it was going to be a crazy day for X, Y, and Z. It didn't mean that we didn't have the hour. It means that we gave emphasis and focus to things that weren't bearing results. They weren't money-making activities. Again, I'm going to say these things. A lot of this shit's cliche. You're going to hear me say cliche things, but it's because I want them to be stuck and ingrained in your brain. Unrefundable minutes. That's what happens when you don't have a plan. When you let everything get disorganized, you're reacting to the day. Oh my God, the pre-sale inspection. Oh my God, we didn't send the loan to 2 different banks and now the one did this. Oh my God, and then before you know it, 3-4 days have gone by, you're dealing with the same problem and you haven't followed up. However, if you have your schedule and you're ready to work it every single day, that doesn't happen. You with rule 1, you live life with a plan. You prepare to have an hour a day dedicated to generating new business and cultivating client relationships. Sure, you could do even more, but you know consistency is key. Day after day, you are in it for the long game. Let's talk about that. Has anybody started a workout regimen and went in and started 3 hours a day for 5 days in a row and then didn't ever do it again? It's the same concept. Let's think of ourselves as sloths. You know what a sloth is? Slow and methodical. It's going to be more effective than if you want to try to lose all the weight the one day, right? You're not going to get all the deals the one day. So make sure that you don't fry your brain. You give yourself an hour to start. And as you get comfortable with it, as you find your niche where you feel like it could work, from there, you begin to expand, right? Once it isn't sore anymore and you feel strong enough, okay, add another 10 minutes, add a little bit more weight, add a this and that and the other. The same thing, right? Remember, the most powerful muscle is the one in here in your head. Treat it right. Don't overuse it. Make sure you set yourself up for success with all the other principles that we mentioned, right? Health and wellness, making sure you take care of it, then going into it because it's going to make it a much more effective process. It works. Being intentional with your time allows you to do what you need to do without worry. It's the difference between thinking about eating lunch and actually eating it. Think about that. It's the difference between thinking about eating lunch and actually eating it. Have you ever noticed that you ate lunch and didn't realize you ate it? You want to be present, right? You'll be at peace. And if you're at peace, and you're comfortable doing something uncomfortable, you're going to have more success. If you're focused on the future, you have anxiety. You're focused on the past of whatever you were doing, you're worried. None of those result in the outcomes that we want. Make sure you do this. These are things that are important. Rule number 2, give every lead a time frame, and it doesn't just mean online leads. It also means when you actually upload any individual person that you're trying to upload. Okay, if you're adding somebody that your sphere of influence, I just remember about my neighbor Rose. Okay, go. Well, make sure you take charge of the opportunity. Prioritize the lead. If it's a hot lead, great, jump on it. That's the first thing you should do. Go to the lowest hanging fruit is what I say all the time. Make sure you're effective in doing that. Prioritize your hottest leads while nurturing the rest. You should all be calling your past clients once a month, at least. Okay, hey, you know what? I know that the market's kind of changing. Just wanted to check in with you, see if you had any questions. Hey, listen, are you still getting a lot of the propaganda that you got when we sold you the home? I know Kim knows that. She got a bunch of mail that's like, what is this stuff, right? As soon as you bought the house. You want to stay on top of those things because in that propaganda is that local realtor that's looking to do business with your client. No, don't do that. As a matter of fact, give it to me. I can copy his stuff. So, stay on top of it. Okay. Keep things organized, and all you need to do is stick to a plan. Now, here's another one for you. If you don't, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. This is the way that we have to organize our business. You can't go at it blindly. You can't go at it reacting to everything every single day. Some of the agents here have natural talent, but because they haven't organized themselves, aren't as effective as they could be. So if you create yourself a schedule, you create a plan for yourself, you schedule and block out the time that you're going to do these things, it's going to be more effective than you being able to know what to say. Give you an example. I could be the most talented realtor in the world, but if I don't have and implement these rules into my business, no one's going to get the message because I'm not effectively doing it, right? I'm going to be casting a small net and trying to catch whatever I can, and it's going to drive me insane. I'm just going to burn out and I'm going to go do something else. Instead, let's work smarter, not harder. Using this system will make it easier. And then, mind you, Follow a Boss is the creme de la creme in the industry, okay? If you like Lion's Desk, it's there for free. That's a different CRM. The point is, use it, right? Use something, That's the thing is, that's how it's going to work. And it may seem repetitive, but no, once it goes in and it clicks in your mind, you guys are going to be all systems go. How it works. Qualify all of your leads and set the correct time frame, the stages, guys. Make sure that you set the stage of the person. Okay, just uploaded them, brand new. Okay, switch it a minute that you talk to them, spoke with customer. Okay, write a little bit of notes in there, right? What we're hoping to do, if we're doing this professionally, if we're doing this at a high volume where you're going to be making $250,000, that's very easy to accomplish if we have a plan. You're doing this, you're updating your profile every single time. Every single time as you do anything, one lead at a time, update. Update. Okay, go forward, update, go forward. Oh, close sale. Make sure it's closed. So that way, okay, these are my past client lists. Then guess what? An action that takes you less than 30 seconds will make it easier for you to then send a batch email. Congratulations, anniversaries for the sale of the property. You know what? You can even create a drip campaign with your lender partner on the deal, and where they get to follow up periodically, quarterly, about checking in with the rates and seeing if they're interested in refinancing. There's a multitude of things that you could do if you just get organized. Okay. Update your contacts based on feedback and information you gather from conversations or recent website activity. Okay. The goal, you can rely on smart lists, which tell you when to follow up with your leads, so you don't even need to think about it. That's a cool idea. Remember, just like Mark Zuckerberg wears the same thing every single day. That's what PLF Real Estate Solutions and Prime Rate Lending is trying to get to. That space where they're no longer thinking about following up. It's just happening. And you're just doing it as a part of your repertoire. And as you keep doing it and doing it and doing it, guess what? The deals will come. If you make 1,000 calls and you have a 10% return on your CRM, that's 100 deals a year. And if we're not mistaken, and I know Mike can speak to this, and I know Aaron can speak to this, we've gone to all the conferences. The top people, they do that. 100 deals, 300 deals. I think we went to Sales Edge one year, and there's 5 little ladies that came up, and they had done, I don't know, like $500 million in deals just that year. And it was a team of 5 girls. And I think they had 1 lead realtor, and each one paid a role. You remember that?
It was a while back.
Yeah.
But actually, I've gone to another one recently. I think it was Ricky Caruth.
Okay.
There's one guy, he made over 1,000 deals a year.
But it's because they're effectively using systems like this, guys. And that's why I'm saying Ricky Caruth don't need all those deals. There's stuff for you guys to grab. But why are they so successful? Why are they so successful? They're so successful in doing this because they're organized. They come up with the plan. They could be spitting garbage out, but because they're doing this effectively, it works. I'm going to say it again. This is what we learned this weekend, right? And I take away because this is from all the smart people. Hard work works. Okay. Steps. Call to qualify the leads. Remember, call. Talk to them. It's not going to hurt you. Get over the fear. Set the buying or selling time frame. You talk to them. We talked to a guy yesterday, and he's ready. It's 0 to 3 months. And then I talked to somebody else a couple of days ago, and it's looked like year to year. Okay. You set those time frames correctively for what? So that way you can create your list to follow up effectively, because guess what? You're going to want to talk to the better leads, the people that are more inclined to do anything today versus setting them up for a longer term or forgetting to follow up with them. You always want to follow up with somebody that you haven't spoken to in a minute, because things are always changing, right? From this time last year to where I'm at right now, I would have never guessed how different my life is and the different needs I have. Okay. Then the year before then to before that, it's again incredibly different. So what does that mean? You just don't know what's going on in their lives. They made that initial contact on Zillow. They made that initial contact with you in an open house. They made an initial suggestion through a friend and you added them to your CRM. But it doesn't mean don't not follow up with them. They may not be ready. So put them in that bucket and follow up with them at the appropriate time. That only comes from being organized, everybody. You were without rule 2. You have new leads every day, but you are busy. You follow up when you have time, but opportunities keep slipping through the cracks. Money's going down the drain. You're a good agent, but you just can't keep up. Isn't that a tragedy? That's a tragedy. That is a disaster if I've ever heard of one. Okay. I have leads and I can't get to them. Well, guess what? If you had rule 2, no matter how many leads you have coming in, you are mastering them. You know who is ready to buy, who's not ready yet, and who's active on your website. You have a plan for each. So nothing is whatever that word is, has that hazard, and you are maximizing your potential day after day. Okay. Think about that. If you have an effective follow-up plan, because look, we get the leads. Let's not even just to start focused on Zillow. And let's just say that it's at a 6% return. So it means that 100 leads will come into the company. 6 deals should come out of it. That's at a very basic, like, okay, elementary amount. There's still 94 leads that came in that month. So if these are coming in and we are not determining who to focus on and who not to, and who to focus on, who not to, you could be going down the rabbit hole with the wrong person. I was talking with an agent this morning. Focus your time effectively, because if you're there, you have people that are just, they don't realize they're friendly or whatever, but they're sucking up your time. Time is money. Don't forget, this is a business. And so then you're going down with a lead and they're this and that and the other. Then we don't even know if they can do what they say. We got to get them pre-approved. We got to make sure they qualify. We want to make sure their expectations are correct for the neighborhood that they're looking in. All of it, right? So you don't want to overextend yourself unnecessarily. Go down that rabbit hole and not get to the promised land, which means it's getting to a sale. So that's why you have these systems in place to weed them out and to, excuse me, and to effectively follow up with those that are ready to close. That's what's important here, guys. Okay. I want to put dollars in your pocket. That's the way this works. If we learn these tactics and we start to do this and we manage our CRMs and we start going down that road, you will have money in less than 90 days. I can guarantee you, anybody in here, if they wanted to, they could have $30,000. But we have to make those things, work. We have to make sure that we put the systems in play to be effective, okay? Why it works. Setting the correct time frame helps you prioritize. Every lead was not created equal. The list tells you when to follow up. All you need to do is make the call, send the message, etc. Very, very easy, very, very effective. Rule 3, set it, but don't forget it. This is reference to action plans, right? And I see this all the time, guys. And my lenders, oh my God, they break my heart. Because the action plans that are put in place will go, and I've had clients tell me, why was someone sending me something I didn't ask for? I never even talked to this other person. Well, why? Because there's an action plan set for a lender that's ready to just fire off as soon as the lead comes in. Make sure you go in there. The lenders and realtors, you guys are getting the same lead at the same time. You guys both have a responsibility to either A, connect with them as a realtor, or B, connect with them as a lender. And then whatever action plan, I didn't connect with them, great. Then now the action plan goes. Or A, connected with them. Stop it. Because it's oh, thanks for the warm introduction. What fucking introduction? Who's this person? Think about how it looks. So look at your follow-up boss. Everybody's so stuck on doing everything on their phone. Get on the desktop interface. There's so much stuff this does. Okay. Look at, I'm guilty of it too. Water under the bridge. If we start today forward thinking, you're gonna get it done. I'm seeing this right now. The market is apexing as we speak. What that means is once we hit the curb, business comes back. Okay. This isn't stopped forever. It's slowed down and everybody's scared. Everybody's scared right now. What I was telling the client is, you better get ahead of it, bro. Because as soon as it apexes, everybody's competing, because the one thing holds true in Southern California. There is only so many properties. There's only so much land. There's only so many available opportunities. And there's too many damn people. I don't care what anybody says. There's too many damn people. So you have scarcity at play. Only so many people are selling their homes as well. Scarcity at play. So guess what will happen at some point, irregardless of the rates, the market and people will adjust and demand will come back roaring, and we will be when we'll have two multiple offers, high rates. So that's the pitch, that's the sell to the client. Hey, listen, right now you can walk into any property that you want and you probably have a realistic chance of getting it. And I'm not talking going into Beverly Hills, Santa Monica, or into Newport Beach. That's always going to be multiple offers, depending on the price. I'm talking about your regular houses in Torrance, your regular houses in Whittier, regular houses in Downey, regular houses locally, okay? People aren't having those multiple offers. I haven't been called on my Lacima one once, not once, okay? This is the way it is right now. We have to open our eyes as to what's going on in this market. At some point at apexes, and then boom, okay, the demand will come back. So make sure, as we go back to rule 3, you set it, but don't forget it. Technology at your side, you can do more in less time. Sending newsletters, sending reminders of open houses, sending out new listing notifications, sending out just general information, following up when you're not really needing to follow up. These follow-up boss can congratulate them on the home anniversary, congratulate them on their wedding anniversary, congratulate them on their birthdays, congratulate them for every holiday. You don't necessarily need to do it yourself. You need to do it once, set it and forget it and go. But don't forget that you're setting these systems out. If someone says, thank you, maybe you should say, you're welcome. Okay. How are you? How's everything going? Is the house okay? What did you do for the holiday? You stay local? Have a conversation with your clients. Trust me, other realtors will if you don't. Okay. how it works. You know those new leads you can't always get to right away. What about those cold leads that you haven't spoken to in months? That's what the newsletter's for. Don't forget about those old contacts that just started looking on your website again. Set up automation to follow up for you. It's so easy for you to do it. But then again, here's Kim here to help. Does the phone ring for it? No. So make sure you know that it's here available to you. Okay. Schedule emails to retarget those old leads. Okay. Set up lists to show you who is hot and on the house hunt. Automated tools plus your personalization equals the ultimate secret sauce. Okay. There's a million things that you can do. You can create a custom text video to send out. That way it gets read. Okay. Or seen, because I've noticed that if you use bomb, it goes to spam. So I didn't even renew it. I just went ahead and started just taking a video of myself and then like, okay, hey, how's it going? You know, I just closing one with a client today and he really appreciated his birthday video message. Okay. So I'm telling you, these are things that you have to do. They're going to work. You're going to stand out. And guess what? You're going to get more referrals.
I have a little suggestion. You guys have iPhones. I use voice notes all the time. And so instead of sending a voicemail, meaning calling them and then waiting for voicemail, because they may not listen to it, but there's that little recording that you can send your voice as a text. So I do that when I'm in the car and I can't text. I just say, hi, Herb, blah, 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 and send it as a text. And all he has to do is raise up his phone and it automatically plays. So
there's a
it's just a little trick.
There's tons of things that you guys can do, guys. Tons of them. So let's make sure that we do them. Let's make sure that we stay on top of it and move forward thinking positively. Okay. Steps. Step 1, set up action plans to engage all new leads. Check your recently active smart lists, which are very important for you to make this work. You can create them yourselves, like, hey, call this person. It basically, a smart list is basically a guide. Okay, did you call? Did you text? Did you email? Day 1. Did you call? Did you text? Did you email? Day 2. That's all that is. It isn't like this very sophisticated smart list. What does it do? Talk back to me? No, no. All it does is just set it up so that way it makes it easier for you to take action. That's what's important, guys. Okay. Without doing these things, this is what happens. You're doing everything yourself. There's only so much the company can do, guys. You yourself have to take control of your business. You missed a new lead while on the road. You have people active on your site but don't know it. Opportunities are endless, but you just don't have the time to do it all. You with rule 3, you have systems set up to follow up for you in case you're busy. You schedule emails in advance so you don't miss opportunities to reach out and you know which leads are coming back from going dark. You have all the info you need at hand and the systems to set up to deal with all of the moving parts. You're a rock star. You're kicking ass at that point. Because remember, all is there in an effort for you to get what? Appointments. Appointments lead to conversions. Okay? Why it works. Automation works for you like an assistant, but you don't just follow up like a robot. You know you need to strike a balance where technology helps, but doesn't hinder potential relationships. By having the right system set up, you consistently get results each day without getting stuck in the weeds. I mean, let me know, especially on Zoom World, if something doesn't make sense, I will explain. But this is pretty easy. You know, I see it because as I go in to follow up, I see the work that's been done, opening the new newsletter. I already know, I'm like, oh, this person is going to be apt to talking to me. He's been engaging in what's in the newsletters. He's been reading my stuff. This is a good result. This would be easier call. Whereas some that you just know they're not doing anything, I might put them in a long-term type of situation and say, I won't call this person back for 12 months. Or if it's like bouncing back, there's no need for it to use up space in your CRM, delete it. Rule number 4, there has to be some sort of marketing activity every week. Okay, there has to be. That's why we have the newsletter, guys. We have to stay in touch with them. Okay, this is important. You can be the jack of all trades, but those are things that are easy to put together. We have it as company wide. Some of the agents have their own. Okay. I honestly don't care what you do, but do something, right? One marketing activity a week. Market your listings, market your open houses, post on social media, write a newsletter, plan an event. Don't forget, Follow Up Boss even brings in their social media. Okay. It tags their emails, it tags their handles if they match. And if it doesn't through their phone numbers, it'll do it. And if you don't get that lucky, just ask. Just ask, you know what I mean? That way you can stay in the loop with them. Okay. How it works in Follow Up Boss, there's a ton of ways to market yourself, your listings, your open houses, events. All you need to do is block an hour each week to do that, to work on the marketing, just an hour. All you're doing is sending them information that you want to let them know. You know, say, Bernadette wants to let everybody know about my listing. She just goes in there, puts it on there, and sets it up. I had an agent, Mr. Mikey Ramirez, I love him to death. I'm right there chilling, about to go to bed, and I'm looking at my phone, and I'm like, why is this fool's face on my listing? And it's great. I love it because he's being proactive trying to sell the house. And what there's doing, and it works twofold for him. He's doing that, being proactive, trying to market himself to get more clients for himself. Doesn't mean they're going to necessarily buy it, but they might. You know, now I have a happy seller because he's seeing that everything is being done on the back end. And then I have a happy agent that's possibly getting more leads. It works. It works. In Follow Up Boss, there's a ton of ways to market yourself, your listings, your open house events. Okay, I just read that. So again, you want to stand out from the competition. Block out 1 hour each week for marketing. Okay. Plan, post, or schedule an email, social post, or client event. Review your results and begin again. For my lenders in the room, Brand 360 from UWM, guys, it does it all for you. If you go in there, create something, you could even gain more business from the agents in the office by saying, hey, you know what, Aaron, you're an agent. You mind if we co-brand and we can maybe try to see if we get some leads? How far will it go when he comes in here with a deal and says, hey, you know what, Bernadette, I got a loan for you. All because you went and took that extra step. Remember, for the lenders, it's about building relationships with the realtor partners here. Okay. Review results and begin again, which is important with what we're doing, guys. We're going to need to track. We're going to need to track everything that we're doing. Okay. Because if we don't track, we won't know. And if we don't know, how could we know what works? Okay. Rule 4 continued. If you don't do this stuff, you're doing your job and doing it well, but your open houses maybe aren't that busy, or maybe you don't have as many opportunities in your pipeline as you'd like. You're watching a couple of other agents doing deals and making connections on social media and building a brand. You want to do the same, but guess what? They're using their CRMs. They're saving themselves some time. Think about it. I've seen agents that work in this business and don't have time for their kids, don't have time for anything else because they're all over the place. If you effectively use this, it gives you your life back. It gives you and saves you time. Okay. If you do these things, you intentionally spend time each week marketing your business and yourself. More and more people are coming out for you or coming to you for real estate advice, and you're naturally striking up more conversations that are turning into referrals. I had somebody on the phone the other day for Mike, and he was telling Mike, hey, you know what? My cousin needs to buy too, dude. He hasn't been able to get qualified. Oh my God. It was Christmas on Wednesday or Tuesday. All right. Every time you come across a new hot listing or you have an open house, you let the right people know, and it's working. Guys, it starts to work. This week, I'm excited. They're going to have Claudia's listing on there. Ooh. My God, that's an opportunity for everybody. Okay. Why does this work? Carving out time where you are hyper focused on one goal is exactly what you need to do to get yourself out there. Marketing doesn't have to be a full-time job. Start with consistently spending an hour a week on marketing and a marketing activity, and you'll see results, period. Okay. You just have to start. Most agents aren't spending 2 minutes doing this. Okay. Remember, 95% of the realtors get 5% of the work. These are rules that apply through all time. So if you just do a little bit more, you're going to be way ahead. And to close, we have rule 5. We only have 3 minutes, so I'm going to go a little bit faster. This should be the goal every single time. Turn every deal into another deal. Take the momentum and energy from your recent transactions and turn them into more. You can do that easily. You know, you market right around the house you sold. Guess what? Other neighbors that are possibly thinking of selling, you know what? You know, Juan just sold his house around the corner and he got top dollar for it. I should maybe jump on the market to try to get the most I can, especially in a changing market. Haven't you noticed that happens, that agents do that because it works? Okay. It's not the time to stop. It's the time to keep going. Here's the trick. You can make your next deal come a whole lot easier if you stay on top of it, letting them know that you just closed another sale. That's why we do those. By the way, we just closed on mine. So one draws more people in. How does this work? Every time you close a deal, celebrate your client and keep in touch. It's super easy. Congratulations. Here at the office, we're going to have the step and repeat wall where it's going to say it's closing day. Congratulations. Or if anybody can ever figure out what they wanted to say. And it's there. Take the little picture. You make them feel happy, excited. All these things work. Okay. Why? For referral business. Okay. For referral business. So let's make sure that we stay on top of it, that we continually do that. If you can provide exceptional service post-sale, and that will most certainly lead to more business. Referrals are gold, filled with chests of gold, okay? Close your deal, keep in touch with a post-closing action plan, and celebrate your referrals and track everything that you're doing. If you don't do this, you close deals, but you're always working so hard to find the next opportunity. Let's make it easier for yourselves, guys. I mean, this is why so many realtors work just within a, 300 home farm, because they're going to continually be the one. There's some people that don't leave certain areas and they have 40, 50 deals a year. Okay. You with rule 5, you know that each transaction can lead to another. So you treat each closing and each client with extra special care. You track your referrals and can see that you are doubling business every year just based on word of mouth. Now it's time to throw a party for your VIPs, which we do here using the suite. And we did that last year. The return on one $8,000 party was like, $300 something thousand from all the referrals that came from it. Think about that. Think proactively. This all works. You've just helped your client with one of the biggest, if not the biggest purchase of their life. Remember how valuable this is and what a big decision it was. If you keep in touch and provide a crazy high level of service, you will be memorable, and memorable people win. Okay. So keep that in mind, everybody, as we go. It is, we've come to the end of the training. Does anybody have questions that they would like to ask as we end? Sure. Came as a reminder.
Newsletter's coming out today. We're cutting out Zillow, so they will contact you directly from the newsletter. So, meaning like if they click on your listing, they're gonna have a contact page that goes directly to you. Your land's included, Lacima, San Antonio is all included in Claudia. Whoever has listings.
Okay, awesome. And is that on the website already too?
It's gonna be, yes. So it's gone live. It will go live at noon.
Okay.
If not already. I think it's live already.
Woo!
So like I said, I'm cutting out Zillow. This is the whole point, is to just get it directly to you.
Even better, guys. bringing you value, So, all right, perfect. So we just went ahead. That anybody on Zoom will have questions? No.
It's live.
Okay, perfect. So that's live on the site. If you should need anything, don't hesitate to give us a call here. All right, take care.